Good morning and welcome. I'm Shilpa Ratnam and you're watching the morning news on CNN News 18. Amid the political crisis, Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe took charge as the interim president of the island nation. Within hours of taking charge, Wickremesinghe issued two decisions. Firstly, he has prohibited the use of the term Excellency to introduce the president, and he also appointed top army officials in order to maintain the law across the country. Lankan Parliament Speaker has said that nominations for the presidential post will be called off on the 19th of July and that the elections for the next president will take place on the 20th of July. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa last night announced his candidature for the presidential post. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan Parliament session will convene tomorrow. Our managing editor Zaka Jacob spoke to Sri Lankan leader of opposition Sajith Premadasa about his candidature for the post of president.
One thing is official, that Gotabaya Rajapaksa has resigned. He is no longer the president of Sri Lanka. What is expected to happen next? Ranil Wickremesinghe has been sworn in as interim president. There's likely to be a president and a prime minister for the next 30 days. Are you one of the leading contenders, sir, to be the next prime minister of Sri Lanka?
Well, one has to understand the provisions of Sri Lanka's constitution, which prescribes that the process which will commence tomorrow after a special sitting of Parliament, that is for the selection of the president, which will happen next Wednesday after nominations are taken on Tuesday. So it's only after the president is appointed will we have the position of a formal prime minister and a government. Right now you have an acting president who is mandated with appointing an acting prime minister who should be a member of the present cabinet. The next president of Sri Lanka will be chosen from the 225 members of parliament who were chosen in August 2020 under the leadership of the president who just fled the country. The president was elected in November 2019. He got 6.9 million votes. His party got 6.8 million votes in the ensuing general election in 2020. So the present composition of parliament is what you may call a Rajapaksa ideology dominated parliament.
Okay.
That's the composition of the present parliament. We, the opposition, are a small part of that in terms of composition. But still, we are the legitimate alternative government and we are following constitutional procedures, which is the only methodology of expressing our ideas, our views and our forward path for the country. Our party is SJB and we have an alliance, SJB alliance. This is the main opposition party and right now what you have is a skewed representation. Parliamentary representation is lopsided. It does not reflect the aspirations of the people of the country, because today the Rajapaksa ideology is a failed ideology.
Okay.
We have a failed bankrupt state and country because of the Rajapaksa ideology. So the majority that was attained in 2020 will be deciding on the future presidency.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to inaugurate the 296-kilometer long Bundelkhand Expressway, today built at a cost of rupees 14,850 crore rupees. This expressway comprises of 4 railway overbridges, 14 major bridges across 8 rivers, 293 minor bridges and 224 underpasses. This 4-lane expressway will pass through 7 Uttar Pradesh districts. The foundation stone for this expressway was laid by Prime Minister in 2020 and the project was completed in a span of 28 months.
If you start from Delhi, take the Yamuna Expressway to Agra and then the Agra-Lucknow Expressway. This is the point. If you travel about 300 kilometers from Delhi, where you hit this interchange from where the new Bundelkhand Expressway starts. This project is being inaugurated by the Prime Minister on the July the 16th. The 296 kilometer long expressway is special in many aspects, especially because it's going to connect 7 districts of Bundelkhand, considered the most poorest and the backward regions of the state. What does Uttar Pradesh achieve by building this new expressway to Bundelkhand? We will travel on this expressway, speak to locals and try and find out how key this expressway will be to the industrial development and for the social development of the region of Bundelkhand. When we speak of expressways, we speak of expressways from Lucknow to Delhi, connectivity, a Bundelkhand expressway. How do you think that is significant in this aspect right now?
This is an expressway which has been made in record time. The Honorable Prime Minister laid the foundation stone on the 29th of February 2020, leap year, and we have leaped forward and we have been able to construct this road in around 28-29 months, and that again is an achievement.
With UP building a record number of expressways, a big concern in the expressway projects is also the safety of the project, ensuring that there are less accidents and vehicles traveling at high speed don't collide or don't overturn, which has been one of the cases we have seen in many other expressway projects. Now in the Bundelkhand expressway project, safety seems to be paramount. Some additional security features have been added. We can see here there are crash beams on both sides of the middle median. So this means that cars basically can't overturn from one side of the median to the other side.
हम लोगों का जो बिजनेस है, जैसे हमारा ढाबा है राम जानकी, लोग बढ़ेंगे इस साइड, मतलब जल्दी आएंगे और लोग सीधा यहाँ पे टर्निंग पॉइंट है, सीधा हमारे होटल पे ही है, उतरने का सर्विस रोड है जो, तो लोग आएंगे बढ़ेंगे, हम लोग का बिजनेस बढ़ेगा, रोजगार बढ़ेगा,
बहुत विकास होगा। हम लोग अपना माल भी और कहीं ले जाके बेच सकते हैं इससे।
सड़क का बनने से सर एक तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो चीज़ इसमें फ़ायदा होगा टूरिज्म में।
Travel about 120 kilometers from the Agra-Lucknow Expressway from the turn from where the Bundelkhand Expressway starts, and here you come. This is Jalan district. We have another 173 kilometers to go in our journey towards Chitrakoot. But Jalan is the district where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be arriving on July the 16th to inaugurate this expressway. A huge tent has been set up. A huge public meeting will happen a bit far from here where the Prime Minister will be addressing the people. This is Aman Sharma reporting with Arpit from Jalan for CNN News 18.
The crackdown on terror continues as many as 4 people have been arrested in connection to the Bihar terror module. While 3 were arrested on Thursday, the cops arrested another last evening named Ilyas Tahir and have found Pakistani links in the case allegedly. According to the police, Tahir was connected to an organization Tariq-e-Labbaik. Tahir was also part of a WhatsApp group Ghazwa-e-Hind and was also its administrator. The messages found on the group were communal, extremist and objectionable, unlawful and unconstitutional. The WhatsApp group had people from India, Pakistan and Yemen. Now the NIA has been roped in to probe the case further.
जो गिरफ्तार अभियुक्त है उसका नाम है मरगूब अहमद दानिश, पुकारू नाम ताहिर है। विश्लेषण के क्रम में पता चला कि ये व्यक्ति गज़वा हिंद नाम का संस्था के साथ जुड़ा हुआ था और इसने 2 व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बना रखे थे। पाकिस्तानी नंबर के द्वारा उस ग्रुप को क्रिएट किया गया था ऐप्स के माध्यम से। इस ग्रुप में जो भारत के विरुद्ध देश विरोधी बातें, वीडियोस को पोस्ट करना, कश्मीर में चल रहे आतंकवाद के समर्थन में वीडियोस को पोस्ट करना, ये सब बातों का और विचारों का आदान प्रदान होता था और अधिक से अधिक लोगों को जोड़ने के लिए, प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए ये लोग काम कर रहे थे।
Ahead of the vice presidential elections, the BJP Parliamentary Board will hold a key meeting today. The party will deliberate over its vice presidential candidate, whose victory will be certain as the ruling NDA has majority in the Electoral College. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Ministers Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh and Nitin Gadkari, besides party President JP Nadda, among others, will be present at the meet. The last date for filing of nomination papers for the poll is July 19th, and the election is scheduled for August 6th.
कश्मीर में परिस्थितियां बदली हैं, लोग भारत के साथ खड़े हैं, इन लोगों ने गुमराह किया उनको। आज इस प्रकार से जो एक कोशिश की जा रही है कि वहां पर हर घर में झंडा चढ़े, तो ये बार बार गलत बयानबाजी करके लोगों को गुमराह कर रहे हैं, लोगों को भड़काते हैं।
It's more of a childish order. I mean, compelling people to put tricolor on their shops and houses and establishments.
As a part of the Azadi Ka Mahotsav celebrations, the Jammu and Kashmir government has formed a high-level committee to implement the recent decision taking on the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. While the move was welcomed by the BJP, PDP spokesperson Anil Sethi has called it a childish move. Now remember, earlier the National Conference chief Farooq Abdullah had passed a sarcastic comment when a journalist in Kashmir had asked him about the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. He'd said, "Keep your Tiranga at home."
महबूबा मुफ्ती बार बार भारतीय झंडे को लेकर के जो आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव मनाया जा रहा है, उस पर सवाल खड़े करते हैं। तिरंगे की बेइज्जती करना इनका शुरू से काम रहा है। इनको तकलीफ होना स्वाभाविक बात है, क्योंकि 70 साल इन्होंने उस झंडे को प्रायोरिटी दी, जिसके कारण से अलगाववाद, आतंकवाद और परिवारवाद ये सब चीज़ें चलती रही। अब वो कश्मीर में परिस्थितियाँ बदली हैं, लोग भारत के साथ खड़े हैं, तो ये बार बार गलत बयानबाजी करके लोगों को गुमराह कर रहे हैं, लोगों को भड़काते हैं। लेकिन इस प्रकार की जो व्यवस्था है, लोग इस सब को नकारेंगे और आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव पर हर जगह झंडा चढ़ेगा।
Sir, an order has been issued by the UT administration. How do you see it, sir?
It's more of a childish order. I mean, compelling people to put tricolor on their shops and houses and establishments. In my opinion, personal opinion, it amounts to demeaning the authority of the tricolor. Tricolor is something which we respect from the core of our hearts, and we stand up wherever tricolor is unfurled or hoisted. Secondly, I think this is yet another distraction move of the government. The government never wants to address the main issues: unemployment, poverty, other hostile issues facing the country, the common man. They keep on distracting, they keep on generating controversy out of nothing, out of no issues.
Alright, some breaking news coming in. Infiltrator nabbed on LOC in forward sector, where infiltration attempt took place 2 days ago. A Pakistani woman was nabbed at the Chakandabag line of control in Pooch by security forces. This is in the same sector where the infiltration attempt was foiled on Wednesday by the Indian Army. The women to be handed over to the police. Now we're joined by my colleague Tejinder Singh Sodhi on the phone line. A very good morning to you, Tejinder. What more do we know about this Pakistani woman who has been caught in Poonch, and what can you put it in context with regards to the other infiltration attempts we've seen in the last few days?
Good morning, Shilpa. You see, this woman identified as Rosina, and she's 49 years old. She's a resident of Firoz Banda in Islamabad, Pakistan. She had crossed over the line of control into the Indian side last night when the Indian Army, which is deployed near the Chakandabag border crossing point, they apprehended her. As she crossed into the Indian side, she was apprehended by the Indian Army, and after that she was taken for questioning. So this is the same sector. If you see in the recent past, just last Wednesday, there was a major infiltration attempt wherein the Indian Army had said that a group of 7 to 8 terrorists, they were planning to cross over to the Indian side. And when they crossed over to the Indian side, they were challenged by the security forces, and they started firing toward the security forces, which was retaliated. And these terrorists, however, managed to escape into the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir side. We were told that 2 to 3 terrorists were hit by the security forces bullets, and now this infiltration attempt being made by this woman. Though this woman has been arrested, she has been handed over to the police, and right now her questioning is going on to find out whether she has any links with any terror outfit, whether she was sent by those terrorists to do a recce of the area to find out if there was a possibility for them to infiltrate. So all these things are being looked into by the security forces. Yes, Shilpa.
All right, thank you very much, Tejinder, for bringing us those very fast and swift updates. But now it's time for a very quick commercial break. News and updates will continue on the other side.